What's going on? Good morning, everyone. As you're on your way either to work, coming home from work, whatever you're doing, just want to give you an encouragement this morning. This morning I'm going to talk about 12 ways on how do you start a new life. How do you start a new life? I mean, sometimes I'm sure you can look at your life and be like, man, how in the world did I get here? Or you can say, what am I doing here? You find yourself on a job and you're like, man, how in the world did I get here? I went to school, I did all these different things, I had all these dreams, I had all these goals, and you find yourself wondering, man, how did I even get here? What went wrong with me? Where did I make a wrong decision? Or life just seemed to just happen to you. Or you look at life and say, man, it seems like life is happening to me and not for me because I didn't set it up this way. And so sometimes the question to find out, how do I start all over? How do I start over when life is continuously going and there's never really a pause break? And so I'm going to give you basically 12 quick ways for you to think about that's going to help you when you want to start over in life. I don't care what it is. It can be in your health. It could be in your family. It could be in your job. It could be with your kids, whatever it may be. But I'm going to share with you 12 quick ways on which how you can kind of start over. So number one, whenever life hits you, or whether you expect it or you don't, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and feel comfortable about complaining about it. Okay, feel comfortable experiencing those feelings. Some people would call it whining, and that's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, that's not what you desired. And for you to ignore those feelings, for you to ignore the fact that you're disappointed, you're discouraged, you're uncomfortable, whatever it may be, for you to ignore them is not really giving yourself the true value that you need. And so again, the first thing, take some time. Complain about it, whine about it, get it out, express it out. Because at the end of the day, one of the things I learned over the years is that people go through depressive states of mind when they hold that type of stuff in. And so when they hold those types of things inside them, then those emotions, those hormones and everything start turning inside. So again, the first thing I want you to do in terms of starting things over is go ahead and whine a little bit. Go ahead and let it out, release it. If it's somebody you need to talk to that has the ear and will listen to you, definitely put it out there, share with them. That's number one. Number two, get a stable income. Evaluate your financial situation. There's nothing like stress than those stresses that come when you can't meet your needs that you have. And so getting a stable income, getting an income where you're looking at the end of the day, what's coming in and what's going out. Because it doesn't matter what dream or goal you have, if you can't fund it or you can't take care of your financial responsibilities, then at the end of the day, it turns other people off, and it definitely will turn you off. Because if you can't pay for your responsibilities or take care of yourself, then at the end of the day, you can't reach those things. You can't even really start over because you haven't wrapped your arms around it. And so the number two thing is basically get a stable income. Get your arms around your budget. Get your arms around your financial responsibility. And sometimes that may mean starting over. That may mean looking at the job you're at, finding what do you have going out, what do you have coming in, and start looking for a new job. And so again, these decisions, you have to make those hard decisions. But again, these are ways to start over. Number three, quit your nasty habits, okay? Think about it. Sometimes we have habits that we've inherited, and then we have habits that we brought on ourselves. You talk about somebody that has stress. So when they have stress or they're getting overwhelmed with things, they start to smoke. Some people have a nasty habit of they just drink. They try to drink their problems away. Other people have a nasty habit of just complaining all the time. Whatever those nasty habits are that you feel in your life that are really not serving you, when you really think about it, that's not serving you, quit those nasty habits. Start a program. Start today with quitting those. If you're a smoker and that's the way that you relieve stress, well, you already know that at the end of the day, if you continue to do that, the end result of someone that smokes can be, in some cases, lung cancer. But if that's not the end goal you want, just start cutting back, start quitting, start bringing it down. And it's the same thing with anything else. So again, evaluate your life, look at what are the nasty habits you have, okay? And begin to start developing a plan to do them less, okay? Number four, think like a new person. Now, I know you've been with you every single day of your life, and it's very hard sometimes to think about, well, what would I think about, what would I do if it wasn't me? Or what would somebody else tell me to do? And so when I'm saying in order to start over, I want you to think like a new person. Think from the outside in. What is the best advice that you would give somebody else if they were in your situation? What would you give them? So if you had a person that you knew you can trust, and they're going to only tell you things to keep it 100 with you, what would they tell you? Think like a new person. Think about the possibilities. I remember I had times when I had to start over, when I finished the NFL, or when I finished a relationship, or I finished certain different things, and I had to start over. I had to think like a new person. I had to think from the outside in. So again, number 4, think like a new person. Number 5, determine who it is you want to be and what you want to be. Sometimes when people say, oh, I just want to be better, I just want to do better, I just want to be happier, that doesn't really say much. But you got to be specific. What does it look like when you're this person? What does it look like when you're doing what you're doing? Where are you at? What are you doing? Who are you serving? What is the end result? But you have to be definite about this. You have to write this down. It can't just be in here. It can't be just in our imagination. It has to be written down, but you have to decide who and what at the end of the day that you want to be. And number 6, start exercising. Start some type of exercise program, because at the end of the day, science says there's a physiological effect that happens. When you start to work out, it happens, it affects and impacts your mind. It impacts your health. It impacts your ability to focus. It impacts your ability to overcome conflict. It impacts your ability to think. It impacts your ability to reason. It impacts your ability to stay longer, to do more, to be there, to be present. So start an exercise program. I don't care if it's just walking. I don't care if you got to crawl. Whatever you got to do something. Start an exercise program. If you're at a job and they got stairs or they got an elevator, take the stairs. Okay, if you're at your job and you're on the phone and you're making calls, guess what? Stand up. Do squat sits on a chair. Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. Get some laps in, get a Fitbit, or get something to track your calories, get something to track your mileage. Start some type of exercise program. If you're at a desk and you're at a desk job, you know what? Get some books in your hand and just do some shoulder raises, okay? Or just be sitting here and do some knee ups. Do something. Start an exercise program. No excuses. No excuses at all. Okay? The hardest thing to do sometimes is to start, but the greatest thing to do is to start. All right. Number 7. I want to say dress for success. Listen, man, you know how you feel when you put on that nice dress, or you put on that nice outfit, or fellas, you put on that nice jacket, that nice suit, or everything is just lining up. When you dress for success, you're like, man, you know what? When I go into, I just feel good. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. When the hair is right, you know what I'm saying, the makeup is right, and the clothes are right, you got them nice red bottoms or the nice shoes on, whatever it may be, you just feel good. It does something about you. You put out this natural energy, this positive energy. And so again, dress for success. You remember the movie Pursuit of Happiness, man, Will Smith. Listen, he didn't have much, but what did he have? He had a jacket on. He had a blazer on, fellas. It's something about having a blazer on that makes you feel yourself, not what everybody else thinks, but you feel professional. It's like, man, I'm here for business. I'm here for business. And so again, dress for success, number 7. Number 8, change your thinking. Change your thinking. Iris, thank you. Yes, exactly. Be creative. Be creative about what you're going to do and how you're going to do things. So number 8, change your thinking. Change it from that negative thought process. Because remember, at the end of the day, those thoughts are not facts. Those thoughts are just feelings. That negative thinking, those thoughts are not facts. They're just feelings. They're just basically telling you right now, what level of vibration am I on? Think about it like a radio channel, okay? If your favorite channel is 101.5, and on that channel you feel good, man, you feel great, you're at peace, man, you're reminiscing about good things and good times in your life, that's on 101.5. But if you're on 99.5, and on that channel, man, is the hard negative thinking, you're looking at your world from impossibility, you're looking at how hard it is, then I'm gonna say, man, change the channel. Change the channel, get to 101.5. And the only way you can do it is actively changing the channel, actively thinking about those things that's on 101.5, talking about those things that's on 101.5, and doing the things that you'll get on 101.5. Now remember this, as you change the channel on a radio station, some of you guys may be young, so you don't remember changing the channel, okay? You just remember pushing the button and it goes there. But I remember, who remembers going to when you had to change the channel and it got to go, and you hear all this noise and chatter as you're going from one stage to the other. Well, that noise and chatter you hear from the station where you're at and where you're going, that's like the distraction. That's like what other people are saying. That's like what the thoughts and the doubts are. It's all the confusion and the chatter. But my suggestion to you, don't listen to it. Just keep going. Keep focusing on that channel. Keep focusing on 101.5. Keep thinking about it. Keep talking about it. And pretty soon, you're going to be there and experience those things. So again, change that negative thinking from there. Number 9, okay, we're talking about, again, how do you start over? How do you start over a new life? What are the things you do if you need to start over in something? Relationship, finances, business, whatever. Or just start at being creative, okay? All right, so number 9, find old hobbies or create new ones. What did you like to do before that brought you joy? Okay, what type of game did you play? Was it cards? Was it race cars? Was it, you know what I'm saying, was it going to the mall? Was it looking at magazines? What was it? Was it a book club? You name it. What was it? What was the old habit that brought you joy? That you let go? That life got in the way? You feel like life got in the way and now you're not able to do it. Therefore, if you're not able to do it, now you're not able to experience it. And so find, what are those old habits you had? Those old hobbies that you had that served you well, that brought you joy, that brought a smile to your face. What was it? Was it writing? Was it singing? Was it reading? Start today. Start today. Just do one thing today. Or you might have to think about new ones. Think about new ones. Everybody changes in life. We're not the same as we was yesterday, and we're sure enough not the same as we was 10 years ago. So we have to find some new things. What are some new things you want to do? Create some new habits for yourself, some new hobbies. Okay, so that's on you. And number 10, only a couple more. Number 10, how do you start over? How do you begin a new life? How do you start over when you feel like, you know what, I'm ready for a change? Number 10, make a productive list every day. Okay, make like a goal list for that day. All right, today, these are the things I'm going to do. And I'm not talking about I'm going to just go to work or I'm just going to take out the trash. I'm not talking about those things. And fellas, if you're not taking out the trash, take out the trash. Take out the trash, all right? And so I'm talking about making a productive list, a list that you're proud of what you're going to do today. You know what, man, I'm going to call somebody and tell them I love them. Or you know what, I'm going to stop this habit. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to do something that's going to help me today. Make that a productive list today. And I like what Iron says, well, an achievement list. What are you going to achieve today that's going to encourage you? What's going to achieve you today that at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be long. That's going to say, you know what, I did it today. I always say, man, when people say, Donovan, how do you stay motivated? Or how do you exercise? How do you lose weight and different things like that? Here's what I say. Here's what I say, and this is what I do. I call it basically, you're underperforming based off of your maximum level to build momentum. And this is what I mean. And by that, I mean, now granted, if I say, okay, I want you to work out every single day, then for some people, you're like, oh man, that's too much. Because I'm thinking every single day. But I want you to break it down in chunks. And by that, I mean that you are basically, you know, if I say go out and run 30 minutes, instead of, even though you know you can run 30 minutes, I would say don't run 30 minutes. Just run 25. Because here's what's going to happen. If you run 25 today, and you're like, man, I could have ran 30. And then you run 25 tomorrow, man, I could have ran 30. 25 the next day, I really could have ran 30. What's happening is that 5 minutes that you left in the tank, that 5 minutes that you left in the tank is what's on the inside start to build that momentum that I can do this, that I can do it, that no matter how much it is, because sometimes if we say run 30 minutes, you're like, okay, and you max yourself out and you're just so blown out and you're just so tired and you put all that energy in that one day, then come tomorrow, you're like, man, I don't want to do this. Yeah, because I don't want to feel what I felt. But if you have 30 minutes and you say, you know what, I'm going to go 25, and you leave a little bit in the tank, just a little bit in the tank, what that does is like the gas in your tank. It builds that momentum to say, you know what, man, I got done this, but I could have done more. Not I got done this, and man, I'm just tired, man. I don't even know if I'm going to do this again. And so what I'm basically talking about is basically underachieving just a little bit. But the only reason for underachieving just a little bit is to build that momentum on the inside. It's that drive that keep building. I could do this. I could do it. I could have done more. I can do this. And so remember, that's the next thing, that achievement list, that productive list. And the last two things, how do you start over? How do you start a new life? When you finish one area, you're ready to go to the next one. Number 11, help others. I can't tell you the countless number of times that I've been blessed and encouraged. Not because I was focusing on me, but I was focused on somebody else. Okay, I had a friend of mine, man, and she used to be depressed all the time. All the time. She used to be going through life and felt like life was happening to her, man. But then she started working with physically handicapped people. Okay, she used to work at, at a health facility. And she told me, she said, Donovan, you know what, man? It wasn't until I started helping people that I started realizing that my problems weren't that great. It wasn't until I started helping other people that I started to feel the release, that I felt like I was actually doing something that was very productive, that was helping somebody. And I felt like no matter what, it wasn't that something that they did something in a situation for my situation, but through helping others, it helped me. And I heard somebody say, you know what, that they lost themselves when they found themselves by losing themselves in the life of others. Basically, simply put like this, man, I find myself when I lose myself in the service of other people. And so will you. When you help other people, man, it may help you start all over again. Living a life of gratitude, living a life of service. And the last one, number 12, surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people that are building you up. People that are speaking positive into your life. Listen, man, everybody has a choice and decision to make. We can all see the same thing. Today, we can see our life from one perspective, or you can see it from another perspective. Choose the individuals that you want to be around. Choose the individuals that you want to feed into you. Because at the end of the day, man, I know there's some people, man, they're so negative. They're so negative that when they walk into a dark room, you know, I heard somebody say that they begin to develop because they just so darn negative. My thing is, get away from those people, all right? Find some positive people that you can be around. People that can encourage you, that can build you up, that can make your life a little better, that can help you smile. That no matter what your situation is, man, they got something. They got another perspective on how to look at it. That's what I encourage. So, man, listen, those are 12 ways on how to start all over. 12 ways on how to begin a new life, how to begin a new habit, how to get your life started the way you want. All right? Again, share this video, okay? Share this video if you like for somebody else that may need it. Somebody else needs the encouragement. Somebody else needs the steps that they can take to take back their life and to start all over, man. And so I just want to say, listen, man, may everybody have a wonderful day. Y'all be blessed, man. Share this video. Feel free to comment. If you have any questions on how to do whatever and I can help you in any way, man, leave it in the comments tab here. You know, when I get a chance, I'll come back. So again, what you heard, if you have a specific challenge area, okay, leave it in the tab here below, and I'll look forward to coming back, man. So again, just quick little shout outs, man, for everybody. I want to shout out before we end this thing. Everybody got a chance to come on. Y'all have a blessed day. Big Hayward, shout out Miss Iris. Thank you for the insight and the comments. Good morning to you, Miss